Hi folks, welcome to Little Farm Big Dreams. My name is Denise. Ooh, it's pretty windy. Oh yeah, don't let the blue skies fool ya, because the gray skies are coming back in. And for this reason, it's time to say goodbye to the tomato patch. Let's have one final look before I start tearing it out. The reason I am harvesting all of these unripened tomatoes. There's something in my glove. What is happening? Ooh, I don't like that feeling. Okay, it wasn't a bug. It was just dirt. But yeah, it's a bittersweet moment, folks. If you've been following along since the beginning, this garden was the garden that was built on hope. Not skill, I'll tell you that much. But I've learned so much in this first season of gardening, and I have so many of you to thank in the comments with your advice. And also I have to give a huge shout out to my fellow Little Mountain Ranch community members, and to Chelsea, who's at the helm of it all, of course. Your support through this gardening season has been uplifting, inspiring, motivating, educational. It's been so lovely being part of that group. So to all of my LMR members, thank you. I appreciate you so much. And to all of you who've been following along with Little Farm Big Dreams, whether you've been here since the beginning or are new to our journey, welcome, welcome. Thanks for being here and being part of the spirit that keeps me going. And I share this glorious moment of abundance with you. And this is me chitter-chatting because I am delaying the inevitable. I'm so sad to say goodbye to my garden. I'm sorry. If there's anything you'll learn about me, it's that I'm incredibly sentimental. And I'm sad to say goodbye to all these tomato plants. Some of them, you know, still have such young fruit on them that aren't going to make it to ripeness. And so, as much as, you know, at times this garden has been somewhat burdensome, I'm not going to lie. There is so much reward in it, and I'm so proud of myself for doing it, despite every ounce of my being sometimes telling me to quit. So I'm sad to see these plants go. I really appreciated the learning experiences and the incredible abundance that we're about to harvest from here. So enough. Denise, get a hold of yourself. Get a hold of yourself. Okay. Ha, 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 ha. I've got this. It's so silly. Crying over tearing out my garden. I don't know what it is. It's just so sentimental to me. But here we go. Oh, wait, I haven't even explained why I'm tearing out all of my tomatoes. Okay. So the reason I'm having to yoink out all the tomatoes today is because we're getting a lot of rain. We've had 2 days of rain so far, and it's going to be pouring rain overnight. It's going to be raining tomorrow and the day after. And one would think that, oh, lots of rain, that's so good for the garden. However, at this point in the season, it's not ideal because it's been so incredibly dry this summer. All of this rain at this stage of growth in the tomatoes will encourage the tomatoes to grow that much more, but they're going to grow so fast because of the amount of rain that they'll grow faster than their skins can handle, and it will cause their skins to split. And once they've split, they are vulnerable to rotting, and that will defeat the whole purpose of growing them in the first place. We have all of these tomatoes to harvest, and this massive jungle of tomatoes that I never staked up, didn't get it done. It's part of the lessons. I bit off more than I could chew. That's okay. I will do better next summer, and I'm excited about it. I'm really excited about it. All right, enough chitter chatter. Let's start harvesting. I may leave a few on here to experiment with the splitting since some of them are just too underdeveloped, but I'm going to take the majority of them off. So these San Marzano, these plum type tomatoes, these longer ones, and here's one that's blushing. These ones were supposed to be here. But when my chickens tore up my garden at the beginning of the season, and I'll link that video up here for you to go and see. If you want to see me crying again, oh my word. The tomato starts were just all over the place, and it was hard to determine which ones were which. And so when I gathered the starts that were spread out everywhere and replanted them, I mixed them up. So that's why we have some San Marzano mixed in with our pink brandy wine over here. Look at this beautiful cluster. Sorry to be picking you so early. Now I've tidied up and prepared the sunroom to receive these underripe tomatoes. I've cleared off the coffee table that's in there. I've even cleaned off our shoe rack that I plan on using for ripening because the sunroom stays nice and warm. And if we get a temperature drop before these tomatoes are ripened, I can always put a heater in there to help, maintain the warmer temp overnight. I also used the baby bath. If you remember, that's the baby bath that I used to start these tomatoes. I put some storage container lids to create a table surface and covered that with a cotton tablecloth. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to be careful not to fill this container so much that I can't lift it. Looks like I'm gonna have to do multiple runs. Let's bring our first batch inside. Whoa. These are so heavy. I have to weigh these tomatoes, but I'm not going to reveal how many pounds I get because I'm going to save that for the end of the gardening season so that I can reveal all of the pounds of produce that I've pulled out of the garden. If you are, however, curious about some of the veggies I pulled out of the garden, how much they weighed, I did a scallion harvest that actually looked like leeks. That's a whole other story, but I'll link that video up here and you can see how many pounds of scallions I pulled out of the garden. It's pretty exciting. Wow. Let's just say that this first batch is about 21 pounds. That's exciting. I shall say no more. Now, set these up and head back outside. What in the world? Oh, do you see all of these tomatoes? These were all hidden under the foliage. Oh my goodness. Look at them all. Now they're extra dirty because they were laying on the ground, but oh my gosh, look. Friends and family, brace yourselves for lots of tomato gifts. Oh gosh, will I be able to lift this? Oh boy. All right, I'll be right back. It's a little bit frustrating to have worked so hard to save them from the frost to then have to just harvest them a few days later. We worked so hard to protect them, and we're so proud to have been able to successfully keep them from harm. I even solicited my friends who were visiting for the weekend. I had 4 friends over, and in the evening, just after dinner, I asked everyone, hey, who wants to come outside and help me cover my tomatoes? I have good friends. Let's just say that I have some pretty awesome friends. Now, these ones are nice and clean because they weren't on the ground. What I did with the last batch that was covered in dirt, I just poured the bowl out on the deck, hosed them down, and brought them in. Well, I'm going to keep harvesting, and then I will come back to you once I've stopped for the day to show you where we're at, because admittedly it's getting a little dark, which means I think the rain is imminent, and so I'm going to pick as many as I can and leave the rest and hope that the rain tonight doesn't cause issues. All right, see you inside. Oh, that's heavy. I am just a little bit worried. I was worried that I wouldn't have enough tomatoes because, oh my goodness, how many more tomatoes do you think are in there? Because you saw how many I got and how many plants I haven't even touched yet. Oh boy, I've really gone and done it now, haven't I? Well, I guess we'll be preserving lots of tomatoes in future videos. Thanks for being here on my roller coaster of emotions, from tears to giggles. What can you do when you're learning, right? Please like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.